بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباءهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب عليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجر وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أأتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومهم من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منذرين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كلهم لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وعنب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شكر فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أحد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد ضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لتمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون وأن نعمله ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. अम्मा की निगाहों سے میرا زخم چھپانا، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، اس طرح کلیجے میں اتر آئی ہے برچی، اس طرح کلیجے میں اتر آئی ہے برچی، سینہ نہیں ارمان بھی ماں کے ہوئے زخمی، چاہا تھا میری ماں نے مجھے دلہا بنانا، کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، میں جانتا ہوں ضد وہ بہت تم سے کرے گی، میں جانتا ہوں ضد وہ بہت تم سے کرے گی، تنہا تو میں زینب کبھی آنے نہیں دے گی، مقتل میں میری پالنے والی کو نہ لانا، کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، یہ سوچ کہ اکبر کا پتھا جاتا ہے سینہ، یہ سوچ کہ اکبر کا پٹھا جاتا ہے سینہ، کہ آواز نہ سن لے کہیں معصوم سکینہ، سجاد کو آہستہ ذرا جا کے بتانا، کہ بابا میرے سینے میں سینہ ٹوٹ گئی ہے، اماں کی نگاہوں سے میرا زخم چھپانا، अल्लाह करे लौट के तुम जाओ वतन को, अल्लाह करे लौट के तुम जाओ वतन को। मजबूरी आबाई की बता देना बहन को, तुम मेरी तरफ से उसे सीने से लगाना कि बाबा मेरे सीने में सीना टूट गई है, अम्मा की निगाहों से मेरा ज़ख्म छुपाना। अल-फातिहा।
Sheikh Abbas, Ismail, Dr. Dungarsi, respected elders, brothers and sisters in Iman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight's Surah Yasin has been sponsored for the thawab of the marhumeens that are displayed on the screen. Let us all recite Surah Fatiha for all marhumeen. Bismillah. On behalf of the Al-Mahdi Managing Committee, we'd like to welcome Sheikh Abbas Ismail, Assalamu alaikum, who was born in the UK and pursued his BA degree in Qum. On his return to the UK, he worked as an asylum and human rights caseworker, and in 2005 he moved to London, where for the next 9 years he worked as the manager of the World Federation's Islamic Education Department, leading and managing a number of education projects. Sheikh Abbas served as the resident alim of Essex Jamaat from 2014 to 2018. On our past announcements, we announced that the World Federation Academy is coming. The World Fed has reached out to all of its membership Jamaats to inform all of its congregates for a wonderful educational program. Introducing the World Federation Academy, your gateway to over 7,000 short accredited courses, where you can access courses accredited by world-class universities and companies anytime, anywhere at your own convenience. The applications for the first intake are now open until August 30th. Lastly, let us recite 5 times Masuma-e-Qum for all those who are sick here and around the world. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Amma yujibul mustareza dha'u wa yakshifu su'. 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 Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Let's recite a loud salawat as we welcome Sheikh Abbas Ismail. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين مولانا وسيدنا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض مولانا حجة ابن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد ستدفن بضعة مني بخراسان ما زارها مكروب إلا نفس الله عز وجل كربه ولا مذنب إلا غفر الله له ذنوبه. Respected Dr. Dungarsi, my elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It is an honor and a privilege to be here amongst you. The last time I was here, I think, was in Mahe Mubarak Ramazan when I came for Namaz-e-Jummah. Since then, unfortunately, we haven't had tawfiq to be together, but tonight again we are together to remember Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. In fact, one good thing I'll share with you, although it's a wafaat, but this is something uplifting. There is someone right now in Qum that I was in touch with, and I asked them that I'm in New York this evening. I'll be speaking to the mu'mineen, so I asked them to recite a ziyarat of Bibi Masuma on all of your behalf. So either it has been done or it will be done in the next few hours, but inshallah one ziyarat of Bibi Masuma, shakhsan, properly, personally, someone is going to recite for all of you and your marhumin inshallah. May Allah give us tawfiq to do this ziyarat in person inshallah in Qum, and the ziyarat of Imam Raza alayhi salam in Mashhad, and the ziyarat of all of our Aimma alayhimus salam. Tonight, I wanted to share with you some of the history of Bibi Masuma-e-Qum. She's a personality who is a very great personality, but unfortunately, very often we don't know much about her. And even the city of Qum has its own history. Tonight we don't have time to go into the city's history, but even the city of Qum has a unique place within Islam. People often they go for the ziyarat of Mashhad, and then Qum is like, just an afterthought. Maybe half a day they spend there, or they just go and do ziyarat and they come back. Almost like a tick box. They don't know so much about the personality of Bibi Masuma. They don't know so much about the speciality of the city of Qum. But today, inshallah, we'll shed a little bit of light upon the great personality of Bibi Masuma-e-Qum. Now, first of all, we have these two hadiths. The first one from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Where Rasulullah says, "Satudfanu bad'atum minni bi Khurasan." You know the famous hadith of the Holy Prophet where he describes Bibi Fatima. What does he say? Fatimatu bad'atun minni. Fatima is a part of me. This is regarding Fatimatu Zahra, his daughter. Same kind of language he uses for Bibi Masuma. Imagine. 8 generations before that, even Imam Raza and Bibi Masuma have not even been born. The Holy Prophet is foreseeing this event of Bibi Masuma being in Iran. And he says the following, Satudfanu. Soon there will be buried, Bad'atum minni, a piece of me, bi Khurasan, in the land of Khurasan, in the land of Iran. Ma zaraha, no one will do her ziyarat. Makrubun, they will be makrub, they will have gham, they will have sorrow, they will have sadness. Illa naffasallahu azza wa jalla karbahu. No one with sadness will do her ziyarat except that Allah will remove that person's sadness. And no one with sins, no sinner will do her ziyarat except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive that person's sins. So here you see the language is very powerful of the Holy Prophet. He actually uses the same kind of words that he uses for Bibi Fatima, for Bibi Masuma. And this is very, very important because as we discuss, there is a strong relationship between Bibi Masuma and Janabe Fatima salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Second hadith which I want to bring to your attention is from the 6th Imam. He says, Inna lillahi haraman. Allah has a haram. Haram means what? Haram means sanctuary, a special place reserved for that personality. So Allah has a haram. What is the haram of Allah? Makkah. Masjidul Haram. We say Haramullah. It is the Baytullah, the house of Allah, the Masjidul Haram. Wa inna li Rasulillah. The Holy Prophet also has a haram, a special place. What is that? Medina. Wa inna li Amiril Mu'mineen. Imam Ali alayhi salam has a special place, a haram. Where is that? It is in Kufa. Wa inna Qum al-Kufatus Saghira. And Qum is a small Kufa for us Ahlul Bayt. For the rest of Ahlul Bayt, the haram that we have is Qum. The way Amirul Mu'mineen has Kufa, for us, Qum is a mini version of Kufa. Allah inna lil jannati thamaniyata abwab. Let it be known, these are the words of Imam Sadiq, let it be known that for heaven there are 8 doors. There are 8 doors of heaven. Thalathatum minha ila Qum. 3 of them open from the city of Qum. Of the 8 doors of heaven, 3 of them open from the city of Qum. Tuqbadu fiha. In this city of Qum, imra'atam min wuldi, a lady, a noble lady from my progeny, will be buried. Ismuha Fatima. Her name will be Fatima bintu Musa, and her father will be the 7th Imam, Imam Musa-e-Qum. وَتُدْخَلُ بِشَفَاعَتِهَا شِيعَةِ الْجَنَّةِ بِأَجْمَعِهِمْ. All of my Shias will enter into heaven because of the shafa'at of this great lady Fatima-e-Masuma, daughter of Imam Musa-e-Qum. This is the azamat, the position, the greatness of this great personality that we call Bibi Fatima-e-Masuma or Bibi Masuma-e-Qum. Now, her history with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Imam Musa-e-Qum, as you know, had lots of children. That's why you have many Musavi, Kadhimi, Sadat. He had lots of children. Imam Rada alayhi salam was born in 148 after Hijri. Bibi Masuma was born in 173 after Hijri. Between Imam Raza and Bibi Masuma there is a gap of 25 years. Imam Raza is far older than Bibi Masuma by 25 years. So imagine that when Bibi Masuma is born, Imam Raza is already age of 25. Bibi Masuma is Shaheed in 201 AH at the age of 28 only. 201 AH. Imam Rada alayhi salam is Shaheed in 203 AH. So who died first? Bibi Masuma. So this clarifies one of the misconceptions actually that has taken hold in the community. In the community generally we think, like Imam Hussein and Bibi Zainab, that the brother died first and then the sister mourned for the brother. Like Imam Hussein alayhi salam was killed, Bibi Zainab of course mourned for Aba Abdullah. We apply that same logic to Bibi Masuma and Imam Raza. Unfortunately, it is not correct. The chronology does not support. What the chronology says is Bibi Masuma is killed first by 2 years. There are 2 years difference. And then Imam Raza alayhi salam is made Shaheed. So Bibi Masuma was killed first. So therefore, some of our Nohas and our Marshias, for example, you know, we have Yu Fatima Kehti Thi, Bhaiya Mere Pardesi. We have that one. Unfortunately, it's a lovely Noha, it's a lovely Marshia, it's very emotional. I know no one is reciting this maliciously, but it is actually chronologically wrong to say that. Bibi Masuma actually passes away first, then Imam Raza alayhi salam passes 2 years later than her. The title Masuma, the very title of Bibi Masuma, her name was Fatima after Janabe Fatima. But the title of Masuma was given by Imam Raza alayhi salam again after her death. So another proof of her leaving this world first is this, that Imam Raza alayhi salam actually conferred the title of Masuma upon her after her death. During her life, she was never referred to by this title of Masuma. Now, how did it come to be? What were the circumstances of her shahadat and the brief history that we know of her life? As you know, Azizan, Imam Musa-e-Qum was severely treated by Harun al-Rashid. Harun Rashid, the accursed ruler of the Abbasid Empire at the time, he treated Imam Musa-e-Qum with extreme harshness, imprisoning him again and again. What was the incident that led to this? Harun comes to Medina for the ziyarat of the Holy Prophet. Now you know the Bani Abbas, their claim to fame was, we are from the progeny of the Holy Prophet. We are from the relatives of the Holy Prophet. We are from the Bani Hashim. And it's true, they are from the Bani Hashim. Because their lineage comes from the uncle of the Holy Prophet, who was Abbas. Okay? He had an uncle called Abbas. These are the Bani Abbas. So they are cousins of our Imams. They are the cousins of our Imams. So their claim to fame, how did they take power? They took power on this claim that we are from Bani Hashim. We are from the family of the Holy Prophet. But it was always very, very delicate. Because the people actually, they knew that, hang on a second, you're saying you're from the uncle Abbas. These are from the progeny, the Ahlul Bayt, the Imams of Ahlul Bayt are actually from the direct lineage of the Holy Prophet. So he hated, and the Bani Abbas hated any conversations about this. They would try to shut it down all the time. So Harun comes to Medina. He goes for the ziyarat of the Holy Prophet. He says, Assalamu alayka yabna am. Salam to you, the child of my uncle. In other words, my cousin. Yabna am. The child of my uncle. Imam Musa-e-Qum walks in and says, Assalamu alayka ya abata. Salam upon you, O father. Now who is closer, father or son of the uncle? So Imam Musa-e-Qum addresses the Holy Prophet as father. Now this enrages Harun. This was the final straw. He became embarrassed, he became shy. He said, we must take this man away from here. So he had Imam Musa-e-Qum arrested and then transferred from prison to prison. From that moment on of the arrest of Imam Musa-e-Qum, Bibi Masuma did not see her father again. From that moment, when Imam Musa-e-Qum was taken from Medina to Baghdad and Iraq side, that was the last time Bibi Masuma saw her father. From that moment on, she never saw Imam Musa-e-Qum again. So who was the father figure for Bibi Masuma? Her elder brother, Imam Ali ibn Musa Ar-Ridha alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Being so much older than her, he acted as her guardian, protector, father figure. Now, she was 10 years old at the shahadat of Imam Musa-e-Qum. She was 10. Imam Rida alayhi salam was 35. So he now assumes imamat. The imamat transfers to Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, and he takes this responsibility. After some time of living in Medina, now Harun has gone, Ma'mun has come. Ma'mun, he had a similar policy, but instead of arresting and forcing Imam Raza, he kind of made it look like he's inviting Imam Raza. Imam Raza could not refuse. He did refuse many times. But eventually, because he knew that there was no other option, he had to go from Medina to Marv. At that time, the capital was in a place called Marv. He goes there. Now, Ahlul Bayt in Medina, they have lost Imam Raza alayhi salam as well. So now they are missing that link with Imamat. Imam Musa-e-Qum has been killed, imprisoned and killed. Now Imam Raza has been taken away. That was in 200 AH. In 201, Imam Raza alayhi salam sends a letter. He tells the person, the messenger, he says, take this letter, go very quickly and urgently to Medina. Go quickly, don't tarry, don't dilly-dally, don't delay. Go straight to the house of my family. Deliver this letter to someone's hands. I don't want it to go into the wrong person's hands. And this is very, very important. The person rushes to Medina, doesn't tarry, doesn't delay, finds the house, gives the letter over to the family. What is written in that letter? Imam Raza writes, I want you all to pack up, leave Medina and come over here to Marv to join me. Now is the time that you leave Medina and you come to Marv to join me. They are overjoyed. Finally they will meet their brother again. Finally they will be reunited with the Imam again. So now they prepare. It is said in history that 2 caravans, 2 qafilas prepare. One has roughly 12,000 people. So we're not talking about a small number of people. 12,000 people. The family members, the supporters, they get ready to join Imam Raza, one qafila. The second qafila was much smaller. The figure that we see in history is 23 people. One 12,000, one 23. 2 separate qafilas. They leave around the same time. One is headed by someone called Harun, son of Imam Musa-e-Qum. One is headed by someone called Ahmad, son of Imam Musa-e-Qum. These 2 qafilas leave. They head towards where Imam Raza is. They reach a place called Saweh. Now at that time, the landscape of Arabia had already started to form. There were a few pockets in the Muslim world which were very sympathetic and supportive of Ahlul Bayt. One was Kufa. Kufa at that time was very strong, identifying as supporters of Ahlul Bayt. The other one was Qum. Qum by that time had become a hub, a place where the lovers of Ahlul Bayt had settled, and that had become a stronghold for Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. So they began to move and they reached a place called Saweh. Saweh was the opposite. Saweh was full of many of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt and was regarded as a very hostile place. Now at that position, there was an ambush. People ambushed these 2 qafilas, especially the larger one. They ambushed that qafila, they killed, they imprisoned, they wounded many of that qafila. And the news started to spread throughout the land that the Ahlul Bayt are coming over to this side of the world, but they have been attacked. Now Bibi Masuma, she was also part of the second qafila. Now her qafila, as far as we know in history, did not get attacked. But somehow, mischievously, someone managed to poison her food in that same place, Saweh, in that same town. Her food got poisoned and she began to feel the effects of the poison. And one of the first things she asked was, how far is the city of Qum? She was yearning, imagine. She had that ma'rifat, she had that understanding that this is a special place. She asks, how far is the city of Qum? She is told 60 kilometers, 10 farsakhs, 60 kilometers roughly. So she says, take me there. I want to go to Qum. By the time she reaches Qum, the news has already spread that this great daughter of Imam Musa-e-Qum has been poisoned, she's suffering, she's ill, and she's coming to Qum. There was a great personality. Azizan Girami, sometimes we take decisions in our life and we don't know at the time that what will be the effect of this decision. But you'll see sometimes Allah puts so much barakat and tawfiq into that decision that your name then remains forever. We don't do things for name, by the way. We don't want to do things for name. We want to do things qurbatan ilallah. But Allah says, if you remember me, I will remember you. He makes our sawab continue. Not that we want names, don't get me wrong. Not that we do anything for name. But for example, in the history of Bibi Masuma, as she is going over to Qum, one of the great personalities of Qum, his name was Musa ibn Khazraj. We would never have known this man. We would never have even heard of this name. But today we know him. Why? What did he do? He was a noble man. He had resources. He was rich. He was so humble to Ahlul Bayt that he and the people of Qum, they welcome Bibi Masuma with great sha'an and shokat, with great fanfare. They welcome Bibi Masuma. as the granddaughter of Rasulullah, as the daughter of Imam Musa-e-Kazim, as the sister of Imam Raza. They say this Musa ibn Khazraj even goes to the extent and holds the reins of the camel of Bibi Masuma, or the horse, or whatever it was. He holds the reins and guides her in. Such a humble thing that he does. Then he provides his own house for her to stay. Even till today, if you go to this holy city, there is this house of Musa ibn Khazraj, at least that area is still preserved, where Bibi Masuma spent her last days in ibadat. The mihrab, which she used to use for her ibadat, is still there. It is known as Baytun Nur, house of light. Bayt and Nur, the house of light. So he housed her, he accommodated her, he looked after her. Now what happened was, unfortunately, her illness became worse and worse. They could not cure her, despite their best efforts. And she was becoming weaker and weaker. She spent 17 days, it is said, in that place as the guest of Musa ibn Khazraj. Now, before we go on to her death and her burial, let's discuss her titles. So the first title I've already mentioned, which is Ma'asuma. This was given to her by her brother Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Another title which she has become very famous with, is Karima of Ahlul Bayt. You'll hear this a lot. If you go to Qum, you'll hear them regularly referring to Bibi Masuma as Karimaya Ahlul Bayt, the Karima of Ahlul Bayt. What does Karima mean? Karim means someone who is noble, ba sharafat, dignified, has nobility. This is Karim. Karima is the female version. Karima. Why was she known as Karima? Do you know we don't have any hadith or riwayat that says that her title was Karima? This is very interesting. How is she known as Karima? Those of you who have been to Qum, do you remember the great grand library that you must have visited, the library of Ayatollah Mar'ashi Najafi, not too far from the Haram? So there's a very grand library, and he was an outstanding scholar. May Allah bless his soul and the souls of all of our ulama, and the current ulama, may Allah give them long lives, inshallah. He was a very special personality. Now his father had done an oath, had taken a nazar, a manta. He says, I'm going to do a special amal for 40 days. I'm going to do this amal and beseech Allah and supplicate Allah, because I want to know one thing. I want to know where is the real grave of Janabi Fatima. As you know, Mu'mineen, we don't know the exact location. It can be one of three. Correct? When we go to Medina, really the heart breaks. The heart breaks, not knowing really where her exact grave location is. So he says, I did an amal for 40 days. I said, Khudaya, I'm doing this. After 40 days, I want the answer. Inspire me to know where is the position of the grave of Janabi Fatima. On the 40th, when he goes to sleep, he sees a dream in which he sees either Imam Muhammad Baqir or Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhim as-salatu was-salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And he sees himself in Jannatul Baqi. And the Imam is speaking to him. As you know, Jannatul Baqi is one of the possibilities of the grave of Janabi Fatima. And Imam is speaking to him. And he says to Imam, I have been trying so much. I've done this 40-day amal, 40-day na amal mein kaira chhe, to find out where is the grave of this great lady, Janabi Fatima. Imam replies to him, I advise you to go to the grave of Karima of Ahlul Bayt. He didn't understand at that time. He didn't understand. Karima means female. Female noble person. So he replies, Mawla, this is what I want to know. Where is the grave of Karima? He thought Mawla meant Bibi Fatima. So he put it back to Imam Sadiq or Imam Baqir. He said, this is what I want to know. When you say go to the grave of Karima, I'm trying to find out where is the grave of Karima. They said, no. The location of the grave of Hazrat Fatima is one of the secrets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not to be discovered. It is to remain hidden. That you can't know. Whether you do 40-day amal or not, that is a secret from the secrets of God. But we advise you to go to the grave of Karima Fatima Masuma-e-Qum. In other words, you're looking for the grave of Bibi Fatima. The next best thing is to go for the ziyarat of the grave of Bibi Fatima Masuma-e-Qum. This is the azamat of Bibi Masuma. And he narrates that after this, I journeyed to Qum, and I moved to Qum, and then his son, Ayatollah Mar'ashi Najfi, he also moved from Iraq to Qum and settled there. Why? He says one of the reasons why we settled in Qum was because of this dream of my father. Now imagine when he settles in Qum, how much barakat he brought with him, all of those books, that library, that research, his personality, his inspiration, so many students, so many hundreds, if not thousands of people he inspires, all from the barakat of that great lady, Hazrat Fatima Masuma, Salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now this Ayatollah Mar'ashi Najfi, the son of the one who had the dream, it is narrated that he would actually, so in those days, the Haram of Qum would close. These days it is open 24 hours. Most of the time, as far as I know, it is open 24 hours. In those days it used to close. It would open just before Fajr time. It is narrated that Ayatollah Mar'ashi was so much in love with Bibi Fatima Masuma, he would be the first one to do the ziyarat every day. Come rain, come shine, come summer, come winter, he would be the first one at the door of the Haram, pre-Fajr. One time, someone narrates that I came to the door of the Haram and I saw an old man sitting there. I said, Atli Thandima, in this kind of winter, in this kind of cold, I'm surprised that anyone is here, let alone an old man. So I went close and I said, who is this person? And I looked carefully and I saw it's none other than Ayatollah Mar'ashi. I said, Agha, this was 3 hours before Fajr. 3 hours before Fajr. I said, Agha, in this cold, in this weather, you are sitting here at your age. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? He said something. Now listen. He said, my son, my house is very close by. I know whenever I want, if I feel cold, if I feel tired, anything, I can go and I can go back home and rest. But on the day of judgment, I know that if the door of heaven is closed, I have no other door to go to except for the door of Jahannam. So I'm here speaking to Bibi Masuma, asking her that on the day of judgment, do not turn me away from the door of heaven. It is with your shafa'at and your intercession that I will be able to enter heaven. If she closes the door on me on that day, then I'm in big trouble. So allow me to converse with Hazrat Masuma. This is the maqam of some of our ulama. They really understood the maqam and azamat of this great lady. So after 17 days, back to the history of this great personality, after 17 days, they were not able to find a cure for her. She deteriorates, she gets more and more ill day by day. Finally, her soul leaves her body. Now, where to bury her? This same Musa ibn Khazraj, he had lots of land. He had one very, very prime, you can say prime piece of land. He says, I'm giving this as a donation, as a waqf. I'm giving it away. Let her be buried here. And that whole area, which was like a garden at the time, he says, I'm giving this as waqf for the lovers of Amirul Mu'mineen. Imagine till this day, imagine all of the ibadat which is happening there, that whole haram area, all of those ulama, all of those namazes, all of those ziyarat, all of those duas, all of that Quran, all of that azadari which is happening there. how much sawab he must be getting. That is one amazing decision he makes. He says, let her be buried here. So they do all the funeral rites. They do the ghusl. They do the kafan. Now they come for the tadfeen, for the dafan, for the burial. They say that everyone wanted the honor of attending to the funeral, attending to the janaza. But then they said, okay, let the eldest of us do it. And that was a man called Qadir. They nominate him, they say, okay, look, you're the eldest, you do it. Before he could start the process, two men wearing kind of face coverings appear out of nowhere. They come, they ride, they are on horses, they ride to the site. They hardly say anything to anyone. They dismount. They attend to the body, they attend to the janaza, they attend to the funeral rites. They pray the namaz-e-janaza there. They bury Hazrat Masuma. Who was this? We cannot say for sure, but the ulama say this must have been maybe Imam Rada alayhi salam, as a mu'jiza, as a miracle at arriving at that time. Maybe the other person with him was one of his companions. And then they go away. Bibi Masuma, you received such an honorable burial. A garden was donated for you. A haram has been built for you. Imam Rada alayhi salam, we think, came and did your funeral rites. We turn towards Karbala and we say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. How the body of Aba Abdullah was left. How the body was left on the plains of Karbala. When Imam Zainul Abidin is made to walk through the Maqtal, when he sees the body of his father, what must he have thought? Every son would like to bury his father. Every son would like to attend to the funeral and bury the father properly. When Janab Zainab sees the body, she falls upon the body of Aba Abdullah. When she looks at the body, she says two things. She says, Anta akhi, Anta al-Hussein. Could this really be you, O Hussein? Is this what has become of you? And then she turns to Medina and she addresses Rasulullah. She says, Hadha al-Hussein, Ya Rasulullah. This is your Hussein. Murammalun bid-dima, covered in his blood. Muqatta'ul a'dha, his limbs have been severed. Allah la'natullahi al-qawmi al-zalimin. Mata mein Hussein.
फातिमा-कुम्मी गई जग से भाई के अलम से ऐ मोमिनो लो फातिमा-कुम्मी गई जग से भाई के अलम से सदमा हुआ ऐसा जिसे उठ गई जग से भाई के अलम से ऐ मोमिनो लो फातिमा-कुम्मी गई जग से भाई के या रब न किसी भाई बहन से हो जुदाई जिगर फटता है गम से या रब न किसी भाई बहन से हो जुदाई जिगर फटता है गम से उठा है चैन दिल का नहीं लुत्फ जीने में भाई के अलम से ऐ मोमिनो लो फातिमा-कुम्मी गई जग से भाई के अलम ये दाग ज़रा फातिमा-कुम्मी से तो पूछे इस सख्त अलम को ये दाग ज़रा फातिमा-कुम्मी से तो पूछे इस सख्त अलम को क्या दिल पे गुज़रती है भला इस जुदाई से भाई के अलम से ऐ मोमिनो लो फातिमा-कुम्मी भाई के अलम से अफसोस वो किस शौक से निकली थी वतन से मिलने को भाई से। अफसोस वो किस शौक से निकली थी वतन से मिलने को भाई से। और यहाँ तो मिला दाग जुदाई का जिगर पे भाई के अलम से। आए मोमिनो लो गई जग से भाई की से। मोमिनो लो फातिमा-कुम्मी गई जग से भाई के अलम से। सूरतुल बारक़तुल फातिहा।
We'll recite the ziyarah of Sayyida Masuma. For those who'd like to follow along, it is in the Sahif app in the ziyarat section. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu ala Adama safwatillah. Assalamu ala Nuhin nabiyillah. Assalamu ala Ibrahim khalilillah. Assalamu ala Musa kalimillah. السلام على عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا خير خلق الله. السلام عليك يا صفي الله يا صفي الله. السلام عليك يا محمد بن عبد الله خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وصي رسول الله. السلام عليك يا فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكما يا سبتي نبي الرحمة وسيدي شباب أهل الجنة. السلام عليك يا علي بن الحسين سيد العابدين وقرة عين الناظرين. السلام عليك يا محمد بن علي الباقر العلم بعد النبي. السلام عليك يا جعفر بن محمد الصادق البار الأمين. السلام عليك يا موسى بن جعفر الطاهر الطهر. السلام عليك يا علي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى. السلام عليك يا محمد بن علي التقي. السلام عليك يا علي بن محمد النقي الناصح العمين. السلام عليك يا حسن بن علي. السلام على الوصي من بعده. اللهم صل على نورك وسراجك وولي وليك ووصي وصيك وحجتك على خلقك. السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. السلام عليك يا بنت فاطمة وخديجة. السلام عليك يا بنت أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا بنت الحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا بنت ولي الله. السلام عليك يا أخت ولي الله. السلام عليك يا عمة ولي الله. السلام عليك يا بنت موسى بن جعفر ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك عرف الله بيننا وبينكم في الجنة وحشرنا في زمرتكم وأوردنا حوض نبيكم وسقانا بكأس جدكم من يد علي بن أبي طالب صلوات الله عليكم. أسأل الله أن يرينا فيكم السرور والفرج وأن يجمعنا وإياكم في زمرة جدكم محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وأن لا يسلبنا معرفتكم إنه ولي قدير. أتقرب إلى الله بحبكم والبراءة من أعدائكم والتسليم إلى الله راضيا به غير منكر ولا مستكبر وعلى يقين ما أتى به محمد وبه راض نطلب بذلك وجهك يا سيدي. اللهم ورضاك والدار الآخرة. يا فاطمة اشفعي لي في الجنة، فإن لك عند الله شأنا من الشأن. اللهم إني أسألك أن تختم لي بالسعادة، فلا تسلب مني ما أنا فيه، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم استجب لنا وتقبله بكرمك وعزتك وبرحمتك وعافيتك. وصلى الله على محمد وآله أجمعين وسلم تسليما يا أرحم الراحمين. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن يا صاحب الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم قل لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى عبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرزك طوعا وتمتيه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.